Welcome into the Chiefs Report. I am your host, Harrison Graham. Mailbag time coming up, so get those questions in by using the hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat, and we're going to go ahead and answer all of your questions. We'll start with question number 1 here. BB. Do you think Juju will break that 1,100-yard mark? And if so, do you think we will extend him or let him go? Yeah, that'll be interesting. If he has a big year, I mean, he's probably going to be a $20+ million player per year on a new deal. Like if he goes for, say, 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns, someone's going to pay him a lot. I don't know if Brett Veach will be the GM to do it. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But the Chiefs just had a price tag of what seems to be about $25 million per year for Tyreek Hill. Can't imagine they'd go more than about 20, 22 for Juju if he balls out. But young player, talented. If he has a huge year, it's a good problem for the Chiefs and Juju to have. J.D. Hollowell, do you think not signing Orlando this offseason could come back to hunt us? I mean, the risk is, J.D., that he plays like an all-pro left tackle this year, and then you have to reset the market with him. I don't know if you would have had to do that this year with Orlando Brown to get him secured on a long-term deal. But, yeah, if he plays well, the price goes up. So that's the risk. But I don't blame them for doing it because what you don't want to do is overpay, and then he's just a good player, not a great one. If you're paying someone great money, you want them to be great. So big opportunity for Orlando Brown to be great this year and then cash in next offseason. Braden Perez, will Carlos Dunlap have a better season than Frank Clark? I don't know. Based on the last couple of years, I would say yes. I do, with Frank Clark being younger and coming into camp leaner and quicker, his upside is probably higher than Dunlap's, who's 33 years old. But I think the safe bet would be Dunlap is going to be more productive, especially per snap. He'll probably play a few less snaps as an older player, but I hope they're both great. If they're both really good, with Chris Jones in the middle there, it's gonna bode well for the Chiefs front. Maverick, Kareem Hunt wants out of Cleveland. Should the Chiefs trade for him? Yeah, there's been some Hunt trade rumors. Sounds like he requested a trade, but it also sounds like Cleveland denied that request, basically saying you're not going anywhere. I think the ship is sailed, guys. Y'all have asked me before, could Kareem Hunt come back here? There's no doubt the talent. There's no doubt he fit in super well here. When he was in Kansas City, he was a top 5, top 6 running back in the NFL. He fit into the system very well. He can run the ball, catch the ball, block pretty well also. I just think, when you get kicked off out of an organization for a domestic violence video surfacing, I don't know how that gets repaired. I think he's moved on. I think the Chiefs have moved on. Obviously, he was a great player here, but I just can't imagine that those two sides could rekindle that situation. Would you bring Kareem Hunt back to KC? Be honest. You're in charge. If the opportunity was there, would you do it? We'll make this the pinned comment on today's video. So type Y for yes, or you can type N for no. Billy B, will George Karlaftis bounce inside a lot with Dunlap on the edge? I do think so, Billy. I think Karlaftis, a big part of that Dunlap signing was the Karlaftis impact. A, he doesn't have to be a starter right away. B, he can play inside, he can play out. I think he's got that versatility to move around at 280 pounds, so I like that quite a bit. It gives Steve Spagnuolo more flexibility and options with this defensive line rotation. Sean Hooker, will all the talk about the Chargers being a good team in the AFC, do you think that the Chiefs will take the AFC West? Still think the Chiefs are the favorites, but I've said consistently this offseason, I think the Chargers are the biggest threat to KC. Polar Splash, do you think Sky Moore could win Offensive Rookie of the Year? I do think it's possible. Would I predict it? Not necessarily, but I think it's a possibility for a couple reasons. One, there's no obvious quarterback. Kenny Pickett's been struggling at camp. Malik Willis isn't going to start. I don't think any rookies are starting out there unless Desmond Ridder wins the job in Atlanta. I guess that's possible, but I don't think that'll be the case. So that probably means a receiver is going to win it. Sky Moore's in an explosive offense. Could happen. You never know. Jordan Ramsey. Nice. What about Gordon Ramsay? Do you think all positions are filled to begin the season better than last season? I think the only one I was very concerned about was the defensive line, especially that edge spot, but Dunlap's addition helps. I would like one more player there, but I think you're okay overall. Corner could maybe be another question mark. You lost Charvarius Ward, but you drafted Trent McDuffie. A couple other rookies have stood in there and looked strong now. We don't know how long this Rashad Fenton injury is going to linger, but I think overall you're pretty good. Obviously, Tyreek Hill's exit hurts, but I think the depth of the wide receiver position is actually better than last year. So, yeah, if you can, make the adjustments to not having a Tyreek Hill in your offense, I think on paper this team is very, very good once again. Laura Ortiz, what about a Teven Jenkins trade? Possibly. Back at practice with the Bears this past weekend. We'll see how he does this week, throughout the week, depending on when you're watching this. But, maybe. We'll see what the Bears want to do there. We'll see what Jenkins wants. He claims to want to stay in Chicago, but he might just be saying the right things. We don't really know for sure at this point in time. Do you think the Chiefs need to sign another edge or defensive tackle? I think another body on that defensive line could certainly help. Maybe when there's roster cuts around the league, Kansas City could add a body there. I don't think a high-level player will happen, but maybe a depth signing. If you have question marks about Josh Kando, maybe get a slightly better edge option there. If you want some more depth on the defensive tackle, like an Ndamukong Suh, could certainly go in that direction also. Support the show. 2 ways to do it. Subscribe to the Chiefs Report on YouTube and help us reach 31,000 subscribers. We are almost there. Another way to do it, follow us on Rumble. We're trying to get to 4,000 followers on Rumble as soon as possible. Rumble.com/ChiefsTV. Help us get there. Help us reach our milestones here on the Chiefs Report. KCK, it saw ESPN's FPI give the Broncos and Chargers a better chance to make the playoffs than the Chiefs. Thoughts? I think that's interesting. I mean, the Chiefs have a tougher schedule than both, so I get that because it's a computer metric system. It doesn't factor in, it doesn't factor in, the human element of it, if that makes sense. I still think the AFC West is the Chiefs to lose. Until someone comes and takes it, Kansas City is and should be the favorite. Now, again, I'll continue to say it. I think the Chargers are going to be a damn good football team. Justin Herbert's legit. That defense added 2 Pro Bowl caliber players in Khalil Mack and J.C. Jackson, both with all-pro potential, to an already talented defense. Derwin James is back. Denver added Russell Wilson. Huge deal, obviously. Vegas added Devontae Adams. Big deal for them. So this is a 4-team division. There's no doubt, but I'm still going to lean as Kansas City is the favorite. But what do you guys think? Who's going to win the West? Type KC for the Chiefs. Type LAC for the Chargers. You can type LV for the Raiders or DEN for the Broncos. I'm going to go Chiefs 1, Chargers 2, Broncos 3, Raiders 4. Let me know what you guys think down below. Got time for a few more here. Maximo, do you think we just answered this question, Maximo. Jordan Ramsey here. Do you think Justin Tucker's new contract will make Harrison Butker want the same? If I'm Butker and his agent, I'm asking for something similar. I think Tucker got 4 years, $24 million, about $6 million per year. I at least want 5 or 5.5 if I'm Butker. Now, objectively, Justin Tucker is the best kicker in the NFL, if not one of the best of all time. But Butker's top 3, top 4 right now. A couple seasons ago, he had that weird extra point issue, but last year got back on track there, had a really good season. He's one of the best kickers historically from 50-plus as well. Harrison Butker is probably going to be asking for a pretty hefty price for a kicker. And you're probably going to have to pay it because not having a kicker leaves you in trouble in some tight games. BB again. I was very surprised about the lack of hype with Clyde in 2021, considering he almost rushed for 1,000 in his rookie season. He actually has the talent, just needs to stay healthy. Top RB1. Is he top RB1 material? I don't think he's like elite front-end RB1 potential, but could he be a lower-end RB1 where like he's a 1,000-yard rusher, catches for 300 or 400 yards, something like that? I think it's possible. The problem with him is he just doesn't have any explosiveness. Like, he rarely rips off a 30-yard run, you know what I'm saying? Something he's really good at, though, is like finding tough yards. The defensive line wins the rep, and he has nowhere to go, but he turns a negative 1-yard carry into a 2 or 3-yard carry. He at 5'7", he's got strong lower legs as well. He's able to kind of carve his way and get tough yardage. He's really good at that, but to be an elite RB1, you got to catch the ball really well, which he did pretty well in college, but they haven't done it as much in the NFL. And you got to have explosiveness, and he has not shown the ability to run away from defenders in the NFL. Laura Ortiz, do you see a possibility of us trading or picking up Josh Jacobs in the future? You're not going to trade for him. The Raiders are not going to trade Josh Jacobs within the division. But if he enters free agency next year, I think he's exactly the type of back the Chiefs could be interested in him, depending on how Clyde does this season. So, yeah, I wouldn't rule it out. Not via trade. It would have to be as an offseason signing. All right, Real One roll call. If you made it to the end of the video, spam Real One down below. Also, pick up a Real One t-shirt. We got them available right now for, I think, $27.99. Pretty good price there. Chatsports.com/RealKC. If you're a Real One and love the Chiefs, comment Real One. Also, purchase this shirt. Link in the comments and in the description like you saw right there. Get the Real Ones going in the comment section because you made it to the end of the video, and that, my friends, makes you a Real One. So comment Real One down in the comments right now.